Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to March 21st, Thursday, 2019 Sports Talk Show. Say what you need to say. Hope everybody's having a good week this week and looking forward to the weekend. Like I said, there's been some hot topics in sports the last few days. Mike Trout signing that monstrous contract, and also March Madness is upon us. But tonight, ladies and gentlemen, I got a very special guest that's going to join us tonight. Oh my gosh, wait till you hear this guy's credentials and what he's done in the high school coaching ranks. We have Coach Bobby Howard out of Columbus, Georgia on the line with us tonight. How are you tonight, Coach Howard?
I'm doing good, Darren. Good to hear your voice.
Hey, good to hear your voice too, sir. Man, it's been a long time since I've seen you, man, and you know, I'm retired from coaching right now, and like I said, I talk to a lot of people about you all the time and tell them what you meant to me, and I am so privileged and honored to be able to have you on the show tonight to actually say what you need to say. We're going to keep it clean, but what we're going to do tonight, we're going to have a Q&A with you, Coach Howard. We're going to let the listeners out there all hear your thoughts on your career, your history, and the things that you've done. How's the weather down there in good old Columbus, Georgia right now?
It's nice. It's probably in the 60s this afternoon, it's the 60s. But probably around low 50s right now.
Perfect. Well, listeners, I'm going to go ahead and give you a little bit of history out about one of my favorite all-time coaches. Hey, Coach Howard has coached 39 seasons as a head coach. He has compiled a record of 985 wins compared to 296 losses, which is a winning percentage of 78%. He has 12 high school state titles. 8 times he finished second in the state. He amassed 29 region titles. He's also a 3-time National Coach of the Year. He's a Diamond Baseball National Coach of the Year in 2000. And in 2004, he was the USA Today National Coach of the Year. And also, he was the ESPN High School Coach of the Year in 2012. But most heartily, he was the National High School Baseball Coaches Association Hall of Fame inductee. Coach Howard, can you explain to us how in the world did you amass all those records and things?
It's really pretty simple. I just had some great players and great assistant coaches. When you get in the Hall of Fame and you get all those awards, the players put you there. So you were one of them. So and I appreciate you and all the great players we had.
Well, you know what, Coach Howard, you've been a little modest right now, but I can feel you on that. I feel you on that because a guy that does a lot of things like that tend to be a humble guy. And Coach Howard, I'm just going to say this right off the bat. Man, I really do appreciate you instilling discipline in me, also making me the type of player and coach I have molded myself into today. But we're gonna hit you with a few Q&A questions tonight. And the first question I got for you tonight, Coach Howard, is where was your first coaching job?
My first coaching job was at Columbus. I was assistant coach in, believe it or not, 1974-75 under Frank Matthews. So I've been under some good baseball people like him. He was a legend at that time in high school baseball. And then, of course, I played high school ball with Coach Benny Rex Johnson and Charles Ragsdale, and they're in numerous Hall of Fames themselves at different levels, at Alabama Junior College and, the Georgia Hall of Fame with Coach Ragsdale, and both of them in the Chattahoochee Valley Hall of Fame. So I've been blessed to be under some different coaches, different styles, but outstanding, great coaches and great people.
Outstanding, Coach Howard. Wow. What year was that you started again?
That was right after the Mayflower Land, 1974-75. Just kidding, but yeah.
I got you. Okay. Next thing I want to ask you, Coach, is when did you know that you were pretty good at getting the best out of your players?
Well, I don't know. I think it's a never-ending process. Everybody's different. But, the biggest thing that I tried to instill in the kids was that I just wanted them to be a student of the game and to keep getting better. And I'm a student of the game, too. So I hadn't ever quit trying to be a student, and I want them to be one too. So we're all trying to get better together, and I challenge not only the players but the assistant coaches, and it's reciprocal. And they challenge me back, and so we just built a culture around just being the best person that we could be, and then let them be the best student they could be, and then the baseball came third.
Absolutely, Coach. That's a great response right there. Since you were just talking about, when did you know that you were pretty good at getting the best out of players? Who had the biggest influence on your coaching career before you started coaching and when you got started coaching?
Well, there's so many of them. Columbus has always been a hotbed for professional guys, like you, but the Glenn Davises of the world that hung around, and I used to go down to the AA Park even when I was at Kendrick and just hang around all those professional guys, like Dennis Mickey and Matt Galante and Fred DeBerg, Galanting, all those famous Astro guys that made it to the big leagues as coaches. They played too. And then, like I said, being around Rangsdale and Coach Johnson and those kind of guys. And, we just got some great supportive parents. And, we just attracted great players like you and numerous other people, the Frank Thomases of the world and Reggie's and, those kind of guys just gave the platform to get other outstanding players. So, and the school administrators, but the parents equipped us coaches to stay on the cutting edge and go to different, conventions every year and clinics that we would, try to get smarter, and that's what we challenge our players. We always told them to get better. You always got to get smarter in everything you do. So,
absolutely.
But supportive parents and administrators, and like I said, there's been a lot of good baseball players. Not only that that we coached and you played with, but the Tim Hudsons and Edwin Jacksons and those kind of guys that made it to the big leagues. And then right across the river, you got the Rasmus boys. So it's just a network of outstanding baseball programs, and we all sharpened each other as we played and learned from each other.
Absolutely, Coach Howard. I'm gonna jump the bridge right here on you. I know you did try the coaching at the college level, and what made you want to start coaching at the college level, and how did it go?
Well, it went well. It was just a couple things. It was a little bit late in my career. I was 46 when, Middle Georgia offered me the job. I applied for several jobs before that and always came in, a close second. I mean, I went from AUM to Columbus State a couple times, and then and Middle finally recruited me, and I went over there, and I liked it there, But the thing is that a couple things happened. My wife's dad got lung cancer. She was going back and forth. And then my assistant coach, Ed Oliver, got prostate cancer. And so really they were without a coach. And so I was just living by myself. As my family moved back to Columbus. And so it just made it easy when they started looking for a coach because Ed physically couldn't do it or didn't want to do it. And he opened the door for me to come back, and so they recruited me back. I didn't solicit because he's one of my best friends, but they were going to open it up again. So and anyway, I came back.
That's a tough thing, Coach, to go through. When some family members started, getting sick and having some ailments, and then I thought you was going to do great. That's my old actual junior college, Middle Georgia, that I attended.
Oh yeah, I know. You were an All-American there, and I always talk about you, and how versatile you were. I mean, you were drafted as a catcher out of high school, went to play at Middle Georgia, was an All-American outfielder, got drafted as an outfielder, and then you played professionally and made several All-Star teams in the minor leagues and made it to the big leagues as an infielder.
Quick story, Coach. I didn't mean to cut you off right there, but you said I got drafted as a catcher. If you can recall, I was actually supposed to be your starting third baseman at Columbus High School. You remember that?
I know it. We just had some issues behind the plate, and I just put the bat back there. Yeah.
Hey, and you know what? And I'm going to be truthful with you on the air, Coach Howard. When you told me to put that equipment on, I was scared to death, but I managed to throw out a couple of guys, blocked everything that came back there, and the next thing I know, after the game, you came to me and said, "You my catcher for the next 3 years." Boy, that made me feel really good, Coach. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Well, that was pretty obvious that you could do, it was just whoever I wanted you to beat out because you're the best athlete we had.
I appreciate that, Coach. I'm gonna go back to this high school thing. Now, you did mention that you did coach a few guys that play professional baseball, and you coached a couple guys that got to the major leagues, myself included. But this one guy I'm about to mention, this guy is all the world, and you know exactly who I'm talking about. What does it feel like to be able to coach a great Hall of Fame player and hitter such as a Frank Thomas?
Well, it's really a privilege. It's not, you don't coach those kind of guys. You just don't screw them up. I tried to challenge Frank, but I didn't really coach. You don't coach those kind of guys when they're that talented, So
right.
It was just a privilege and an honor more than anything else. But I wouldn't say I actually coached him. You try to make people better, but he's one of those guys that just kept getting better. I mean, he was really talented.
Yeah.
But, some people get stuck, some people go backwards. He just kept getting better at every level. And, that was out of my hands. I think we gave him a foundation at Columbus, but his success is, is paramount. I mean, it's untouchable. But you have to give him most of the credit because he got better at every level.
Well, you know what, Coach? You absolutely right, man. And I can remember some days where I was a freshman and Frank was a junior. And I remember some days standing on the field with him, and he was the biggest thing on the field. And he would tear that. In our center field at Columbus High, I think it was 420 feet, and it was an air conditioning unit out there. Man, Frank used to play pepper with that bad boy and hit balls all up on the school and everything. And
yeah.
Coach, he was an impressive player. And I promise you, if I was to speak to Frank Thomas right now, I promise you your name would come up in the coaches that actually helped him get to the point that he was and where he is today. Next question, Coach. Going back to your coaching, coaching can have its ups and downs. What was your lowest point as a coach in your coaching career?
I don't know. Every loss, takes this, toll on you. Regardless, when you win, you look forward. But we've been in some big games and lost some championships. But I don't know. It's hard to say. I just tried to keep peace of mind that it's all the scores take care of himself. But more than anything else, I think that I've disappointed some kids. It's not a perfect science when you have to deal with kids and you have to, maybe tell them that, they're not quite good enough to maybe start, whatever. But that's the hardest point for me, or the hardest part of coaching was to, tell people that maybe they, weren't quite good enough to play at Columbus High.
Right.
And I tell you what happened, a lot of times we've had several managers, we went through a streak about 4 or 5 years in a row that our managers got scholarships because they were so good at, maybe the videotaping aspect and preparation and the fields. And so, if they hung around, I just wanted to make sure it was a positive experience regardless. And, a couple times, you can't keep everybody happy.
Right.
So it's up to people. But the biggest thing is that, if they failed, I felt like I failed.
I understand, Coach. I understand. Me being a coach professionally the last 18 years, I can definitely relate to what you're saying right there because it takes a toll on you. But if you understand your players the way you did over those years, and I had to, it's just gratifying at the end, especially when kids get to that next level and also get to the ultimate level at the highest, at the major league level. Next question, Coach. Since we just talked about your lowest point as a coach, what do you feel was your highest point as a coach?
I don't know. Every year, I get a lot more out of practice than I do the games. I think the practice aspect, from coaching is what I really, really like, and trying to put a team together. And but the teaching aspect is when you're trying to teach the game and, like I said, you're not really coaching young baseball players. You're coaching young men that play baseball.
Absolutely.
And I've tried to get that distinction in there. And really work on, teaching them, like I said, how to be better people, better students, and then the baseball, will take care of itself. But I think a lot of times that coaches get all caught up in teaching the game and forget that they're still young men.
Yes.
They just have to be playing baseball, so they're young baseball players.
Yeah, absolutely, Coach. Last question for you tonight, Coach Howard. Man, you've been doing this a long time. And when do you plan to retire from coaching, if you ever going to do it? When do you think that time is going to be?
I don't know. That's a good question. I think that, like I said, I really enjoy the preparation and the practice more than I do the games. The games are just a byproduct, but I took a year off, and then I just now took a job here at Pacelli at the private school. So we're trying to resurrect that program. But I got Jeff Boltner and Chase Williams that were great players at Columbus also, and we're making some strides. It's slow, but the challenge aspect is what intrigued me, and them too. Because people say we couldn't win, so. But anyway, we're working at it, and but it still is a challenge, and we're competitors, and we like the challenge.
Well, Coach Howard, Pacelli has the right guy and the right man for the job. Coach Howard, I really do appreciate you joining us tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, Coach Howard said what he needed to say tonight. This coach is unbelievable. His credentials are off the charts. And Coach Howard, I really do appreciate from the bottom of my heart for helping mold me into the player, the major league player, and the professional coach that I am today. I really do appreciate having you on the show. And hopefully I can get you on the show again so we can talk some more baseball and find out what that Pacelli team you got going on is going to do this year. How about that?
I've been truly blessed with good players and good people like you, Gary, and I appreciate it. Yeah, but the good Lord's really been showing a lot of favor to me, and I appreciate it.
Thank you, Coach Howard, so much. Thanks for coming on the show, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right, Gary.
Yes, sir.
Call me back anytime. Yes,
will
sir.
do. Thank you, Coach Howard.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, we just had one of the winningest Georgia coach on the show tonight. Say what you need to say. Coach Bobby Howard out of Columbus, Georgia. Hey, Coach Howard started off at Kendrick High School, went to Columbus High School, coached at Central High School, coached college down in Middle Georgia, junior college, had to come back because of some family issues. Some people were sick, and he went back to Columbus, and now he is at Pacelli High School out of Columbus, Georgia. This coach, I can't say enough about him, how he helped me, helped mold me, and helped me be a disciplined ball player and athlete today. But his credentials are off the chart. How many coaches won 12 high school state titles? Coach Howard has won 985 games, 296 losses. That's a winning percentage of 78%. Ladies and gentlemen, great Q&A tonight with Coach Bobby Howard. Make sure you leave your comments in the comment section on Facebook and YouTube. When you go on YouTube, go to Say What You Need to Say and subscribe so you can always get notifications. Make sure you hit that bell to get those notifications. And also on Facebook, make sure that you leave a contact number and email on topics with your name. You can either email me at GaryIngram@yahoo.com, GAREY, so we can get you on the show to say what you need to say. So, ladies and gentlemen, again, we will be back with you Saturday evening with some more topics so you can get on the talk show and say what you need to say. Have a good one, people.